How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. If you're in a country, such as the US, where Binance and Bybit aren't available, all you need to do is simply get an IP address from a country where they are available using a VPN. So, for example, if you go to binance.us, it'll only give you access to a limited version with about 150 cryptocurrencies, whereas the international version will give you over 500. Now, like I mentioned, Bybit is not available in the US at all, so we're going to use a VPN to make it look like we're in a location where it is available, because what a VPN does is change your IP address so your internet service provider can't see where you're really located, and instead will see your IP as whichever location you've chosen. There are other places that don't have access to Binance or Bybit at all, like the UK, and some where Binance is allowed but Bybit isn't, or vice versa. Off the top, I know I don't want to connect to a Canadian server because in the past few years, both Bybit and Binance experienced complications there. So let's go ahead and connect to a Brazilian server where I know that they're both available. Either way, there are plenty of servers to try out in multiple countries. I mean, you've got over 3,000 servers in 105 countries with Express, over 7,100 servers in 118 countries and counting with NordVPN, and over 3,200 servers in 100 countries with Surfshark. So by clicking one of these, you got a whole bunch of countries to try out. Let's go ahead and refresh Bybit, and we will try to access Binance International and see what happens here. We don't want the US Binance, and if we get that notification again, it means, well, we simply don't have access to Binance. But it seems like the international version is indeed available in Brazil for both Binance and Bybit. And finally, it looks like we have access to Bybit since we're not getting that notification anymore. It's basically as simple as that. There are a few things to note, however, such as the Know Your Customer or KYC verification process. So when you sign up for Binance, they'll ask you to go through a KYC process to verify your identity. They'll want some basic info like your name, birth date, and address, plus a government ID and a selfie. And they might even ask for proof of address like a utility bill. Once you've submitted everything though, Binance will review it, and it usually takes a few hours, though sometimes it can take longer. But once you're verified, you'll get full access to the platform, like higher withdrawal limits and more trading options. Now, when it comes to using a VPN, if you're signing up for Binance with a VPN to hide your IP or make it look like you're in a different location, it could raise some flags because Binance will track your IP, and if it doesn't match your account details, like your address, they might get suspicious and ask you to disable the VPN for verification. They do this obviously to make sure everything lines up. So you might run into trouble if you're using a VPN during the KYC process, but once you're fully verified and good to go, you can use a VPN again without issues, especially for privacy while you're trading. So yeah, using a VPN at sign up could work, but it's best to turn it off when you go through the KYC verification just to keep everything smooth. After you're verified, feel free to use the VPN again. If you already had a Binance account before the verification process was implemented, you might still be able to withdraw money, but it's limited only for users who had money in an unverified account before the summer of 2021. Or if you had a verified account with funds and then the country banned Binance or something, the withdrawal limit can vary. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of how it works out there. While it's a great idea to stay anonymous and protected when venturing into the Binance world, they obviously have their reasons as to why they want to know who's using their platform, but if you have good intentions, you should have no reason to worry. So if you guys are interested in any of these VPNs, you'll find discounts in the description down below, as well as full reviews if you'd like to learn more about the privacy policy, speed and torrenting capabilities, as well as security and features of these VPNs. And of course, they're all covered by a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can just test drive these VPNs out for 30 days without risk. Otherwise, you can simply get yourself the refund if you're not satisfied with any of them. So that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment below if you have any questions or anything to add. I hope I helped point you in the right direction when it comes to accessing crypto platforms. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.